Islamic reform, demanding social and economic reform, the rise against the crown, and the breaking of the new dawn. Resentment and widespread avoidance said no to the poll tax, as the peasants revolt their way of fighting back. But landlords and the churches sought to maintain control, keeping rents high and wages low. They try to crush the peasant's soul. Economic hardship, corruption and war, the upping ethics and the demand to tax more. But sooner or later Kent and other regions would join in. Saw them march on the capital, and sympathetic Londoners also come out fighting. In the anarchy and chaos, rebels rampage through the streets of London, destroying buildings, for this is their account of treason. Killing hated figures like the Archbishop of Canterbury, Simon Sudbury, and the King's Treasurer. Death to the corruption, down with the monarchy. The meeting at Smithfield, Wat Tyler was stabbed and executed for the Peasants Revolt. But Wat Tyler was a revolutionary and never at fault. The wealthy wanted to beg for the scraps from the rich man's table, but the rich would still steal back the crumbs from the weak and the disabled. They would steal from the poor man, the beggar man, like rich fucking thieves. They wouldn't give you nothing, their lives would just run on grave. But we are all fucking peasants in the eyes of the blind, from the aristocracy to the poor without a dime. Money becomes the corruption of this upheaval, whereas compassion and empathy looks after its people. So if you want to start a revolution, it only takes one trigger to instigate a spark. But all revolutions have their consequences, like Wat Tyler stabbed to death, or Guy Fawkes hung, drawn, and quartered as his body's ripped apart. It's the revolutionaries, the ones that take corrupt governments on because they fight for a reason, and that reason is freedom. So up the revolutions, those that chose to fight. Oliver Cromwell, English Civil War, Poland Martian Law, Thomas Fairfax, Battle of Nazareth. Wat Tyler and Thomas Baker, Peasants Revolt 181, Jack Cade, 1450 against government corruption. Mary Wollstonecraft, advocate for women's rights. William Morris, champion revolutionary social ideals. The suffragettes, a group that campaigned women's voting, voting rights. Guy Fawkes, 1605, gunpowder, treason and plot. So if you're thinking about starting a revolution, you may think not, because the consequences are much higher than being put against the wall, blindfolded and shot. Everything is a knock-on effect. First you must see the bigger picture.